started recording. So now let's share a screen, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, here we go. We did poem number 58. And I think it's a good idea because we went up to here last time. So I think if you guys, you know, are okay with this, we can read the poem first one time, and I read the Farsi version, and then I do the translation. رسید آن شه بیارایید ایوان را فرو برید ساعدها برای خوب کنعان را. The king arrived, the king arrived. King here is the symbol of the divine. Beautify and decorate the home. You will cut your hand as soon as Prophet Joseph shows up. چو آمد جان 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 نشاید برد نام جان به پیش جان چه کار آید مگر از بهر قربان را. When the life of the life of the life comes, it is not appropriate to pay attention to fake life. Our egoic life is less valuable than our divine and true internal life, but only to sacrifice. بودم بی عشق گمراهی در آمد عشق ناگاهی بودم کوهی شدم کاهی برای اسب سلطانی. Without true love I was lost, and of course suddenly love came to my rescue. Before love's arrival I was like a mountain full of ego and self-centeredness. Then I became light like a straw, and ultimately my straw-like being became food for the king's horse.
Mr. Akbar, I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
This ultimately my straw-like being became food for the king's horse. What does that mean?
Okay.
How would you explain that?
Okay. So it's the translation might not be as descriptive as the uh, poem itself. I do my best, and and it's not perfect, obviously. It's just the best I can do. So let me explain. He says, without true love, I was lost. Yeah, and of course, suddenly love came to my rescue. Before love's arrival, I was like a mountain full of ego. So, ego and centeredness is very heavy, right? Ego is heavy, puts you down, brings you down, brings you to the earth, brings you to the physical matters, brings you to the soil, which is one part of us, right? We said we are one part soul, one part soil. Then I became light like a straw. So after love came to my life, love came to my life, I became like a straw. I am now very, very light. I was very, very heavy, and I'm now light. I'm very light. Yeah, and light in two meanings means I'm not heavy anymore. Uh, I can move easy because I'm not heavy, and then you can in English we say light is light, nur. Yeah, that can mean too, as a matter of fact. So it's both of them. I became light, meaning opposite to heavy, and at the same time I have light in me. Now, because I'm like a straw, I'm very light and a straw, I am ready to be consumed for the uh, for the king's horse. And king here is the symbol of God Almighty, right? Now I'm good for something. I'm good for God. God can do, I'm useful now. I'm useful. I was like a mountain. I was heavy. Then love came to my life. Now I am light. I'm not heavy anymore. I can move easy. I can go up and I am good I'm useful now. As soon as love comes to everyone's life, that person becomes useful for everybody, including himself or herself, for everybody, because that person now is full of love, and love gives you wisdom, right? Love gives you wisdom too, so you're becoming useful. Did I make sense, ma'am? What's here? Does it make sense to you? The explanation? Okay,
Yes, Mr. Akbar, it does. Perfect. Thank you so much.
you got it. Okay. اگر ترک است و تاجیک است بدو این بنده نزدیک است چو جان با تن ولیکن تن نبیند هیچ مر جان را اگر ترک است و تاجیک است بدو این بنده نزدیک است چو جان با تن ولیکن تن نبیند هیچ مر جان را. It is not important which race or country he belongs to. It is crucial that you're close to the divine. Like the proximity of the soul to the body. Even though the body also and soul are next to each other, the body cannot see the soul. So the soul can see the body, but the body cannot see the soul. هلا یاران که بخت آمد گه ایثار رخت آمد سلیمانی به تخت آمد برای عزل شیطان را. Oh friends, congratulations, because we are lucky. It is the time that let go of our false and fake being. It's the time that we let go of our false and fake being. Prophet Solomon, the symbol of the Lord, came to our hearts and established his residency in our being, and he will remove the devil that took over our being unjustly. بجه از جا چه می پایی چرا بی دست و بی پایی نمیدانی ز هدهد جو ره قصر سلیمان را. Stand up and start moving while you are sitting and not making an effort and hard work. I don't know. Ask the wise bird, symbol of a spiritual master, the way to the Solomon Palace. یکی بکن آنجا مناجاتت بگو اسرار و حاجاتت سلیمان خود همی داند زبان جمله مرغان را. You should pray in any language that you know and ask for blessings and requests because Solomon, symbol of the divine, understands the languages of all his creatures. سخن باد است ای بنده کند دل را پراکنده ولیکن اوش فرماید که گرد آور پریشان را. O human beings, be aware that talk is like wind because it disturbs the concentration of the heart. But the divine advises and tells us, bring together your scattered and fragmented heart. Okay,
Mr.
so,
Akbar, what does this mean?
okay, Rumi, uh, Rumi, what's here? Well, Rumi, at the end of all his poems, most of them, not all of them, I'm sorry. Most of them, he says, okay, we're talking about spirituality and when we are talking about the spiritual, but if spirituality cannot be talked, cannot come into words disturb it, word disfigures it, this uh, words cannot explain spirituality. Spirituality is above and beyond words. It's very hard if it's very hard to explain spirituality. And as we and the he says talk is like wind. When we talk, it's like a wind. It disturbs, it moves stuff away from each other, and it disturbs the concentration of the heart. But he says, it means the Lord says, bring together your scattered and fragmented heart. Basically, I think he's telling us that that's the only tool I have. That's the only tool I have. That I mean, I want to share my spirituality with everybody. I have been on the other side, and I take a bucket and I bring the water of the wisdom and spirituality from the other side, and I want to share it with you. That's what he's doing. And I don't have anything but words. And words that help us. You see, if we are here together and talk about Rumi, we are using words. But let's let's say if we don't do this, if we don't even talk about it, what has happened? We don't even we don't even bring it to our mind or heart. You see, this is the minimum we can do. And he says, I cannot explain what I see. I cannot explain what I feel. I cannot explain what I see because it is not explainable. But let's do the best. See, he says, bring together your scattered and fragmented heart. Just do the best you can do with whatever tool you have, right? That's what he's saying. It doesn't make sense to you, Otsia?
Yes, thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. All right. All right, here you go. So we were here. This is a poem from this is a poem from غزلیات شمس and I forgot to put the address. I'm so sorry. یار در آخر زمان کرد طرب سازی باطن او جد جد ظاهر او بازی. This is a very important poem. Please pay attention. Beautiful poem. The friend, the divine in the final day of judgment, which is now, for a person who has become alive in God, created a joyous and creative time. Its inside is very serious, but its appearance is like play. That's the meaning, that's the translation of the poem. By this, Rumi tells us that worldly events are playful, ridiculous, and joking, the events itself. Therefore, you have to expand your heart. One way of doing this is to learn Rumi's teaching and understand how to minimize the governance of egoic mind in your life and not take events seriously and try to be serious about opening the space around it. The second way is zikr and meditation. So here Rumi says the friend, the beloved, the friend, yeah, he did something at the end, at the day of judgment, which is today. The events, the events in appearance is playful. Do not pay attention to them. Don't take them seriously. What we need to take seriously is the expansion of the heart. That's why the event happens, to encourages us to open the space around it, which is equivalent to expansion of the heart. The event happens to make us realize that we have to expand our heart. That's it. And then that's one way is to open your heart is to do zikr and meditation. You cannot expand your heart with your mind, and don't ask And don't ask with your mind, how can I expand my heart? But you can understand whatever my mind shows, I will not take it seriously. I don't take events and myself too seriously. Instead, I seriously expand my heart around the events. Therefore, it 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 will see if we see the mind's interpretations of events as a play and a joke, then we will expand our heart. So, what it says, this is very important. The lesson of this the lesson of this poem is that the events are not important. The expansion of the heart is important. The events, do not take the event seriously. Do not take yourself seriously. What you need to take serious is the expansion of heart. We have to expand our heart to infinity. God is unique and we are unique too. God is eternal. We have no need. On the other hand, when we decorate and clean our homes, this is the same as expanding our hearts. Then the sun of heart will rise and we become godlike. So the event, this is the lesson of this. What we need to learn from this poem is that the events are not important. The expansion of heart is important. Don't take events seriously. Don't take yourself seriously. Now, think about it. If this is what you do every day in your life, you think any event can disturb you, make you mad or sad or unhappy? No, because it's not serious. It's not serious. Nothing is going to make you sadden you because it's not serious. The expansion of the heart serious. God is bringing this event in front of you to remind you to expand your heart. That's all there is to it. Okay, this is a poem from book 6, verse 2875 from Masnavi. در دلش خورشید چون نوری نشاند، پیشش اختر را مقادیری نماند. Since the divine sun caused a light to dwell in the witness's heart, the stars no longer had any value for him. It means the more you expand your heart, the more the divine sun lights your life, and your being and all the attachments lose their value and attraction. So, as soon as the divine, which is like a sun, will rise in your heart, the other things, attractions, attachments, desires, which it's in your heart already, they will lose their value. They will lose your value. Count, they don't count much to you anymore because you have sun in your heart. Think about it. When at the daytime sun rises, do you see the stars? The stars are looking beautiful at night, right? And they're attracting you. You're interested in them. But as soon as the Son of God, the God's light, which here Rumi uh, uh, used the analogy of the sun, rises in your heart, everything will lose its light, would lose its value, would lose its significance. You realize this is what you need to pay attention to, this sun. These stars which have very little light are not important. The light, the star of money, the star of fame, the star of this, the star of that, they will lose its light and value. That's what Rumi says here. This
So,
is
Mr. Akbar, I have a question. I have a question, please. So
absolutely
basically, like, uh, the way I'm understanding this, and please correct me if I'm wrong,
Mhm.
um, the way to expand the heart is by zikr and meditation. I mean,
That's
we just
one.
read it in the,
That's one
that's one
way.
of the ways. That's
That's
one of
one
the way.
of
Okay,
that's one
perfect,
of the
perfect. Okay.
ways. That's one of the ways. Yeah, because when you do meditation and you do zikr, what you're doing, you are reminding, you're repeating God's name, and that God will expand your heart. You cannot expand your heart, Qudsiya. You cannot expand your heart because the ego. We say there is a saying, the knife cannot cut its own handle. The ego cannot reduce itself. We need God's help. We need the divine's help to expand our heart. God is the only one who can do it. So that's when you repeat his name and you ask him uh, for help, he will help you. Yes, Pastor Khanum, go ahead, please.
Okay, I want to add something. The key point for using Rumi's teaching is repetition. It really works because I tried that recently and I saw a significant changes whenever I faced a challenge in my daily life. Based on the different challenges that I face, first of all, I try to categorize the Rumi's teaching based on the different topics. For example, whenever I face a challenge with, for example, while I'm communicating with someone else, so I face a challenge, I repeat those related verses. Whenever I need to be patient in some situation, again, the related verses comes to your mind and comes to my mind and help me whenever I need. By this kind of repetition, it's like something that that you have like an instrument. I can describe it as an instrument that you have in your toolbox, and whenever you need it, immediately they will come up and they will help you. They will be installed in your subconscious mind by repetition. It's the key point.
Yeah, thank
And the other suggestion is just writing the poems or stick it on the wall. It's really helpful. And just it reminds you that you have to repeat. Sometimes I just write the poems on my hands. So it depends how it would be work for you. You have to find a way that what way will work for you. And I found them very, very helpful when I faced the challenges by repetition.
Very good. Thank you. Very good word. Yes. Repetition, repetition, repetition. Yeah. Because in Islam, we pray 5 times is repetition. We say the same thing. Repetition. You have to repeat, 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 repeat. You have to repeat as many as so much that it becomes a part of you. Basically, you convert. We have to convert. And repetition is the key. Very good point. Absolutely. Whatever works for you, whatever works for you, do it. Yeah. Zikr is repetition. Is God's name. You're saying it in your heart and repeat and repeat and repeat and repeat and repeat on this. And every step, God gradually opens the heart, and the opening is endless. There's no end to it. Because, as I mentioned before, God says, there's not enough room for me on the earth. There's not enough room for me in the sky, heavens, but there is enough room for me in the heart of the faithful, which you guys are. And so there is enough room in your heart for God. So just expand, expand, expand as much as you can. Rumi says, "Saygali kon, saygali kon, saygali," means uh, cleanse it, cleanse your heart, cleanse your heart, cleanse your heart. With reading Rumi poems, it cleanses your heart. With doing zikr, meditation, you're cleansing your heart. That's true. Very good.
Mr.
Thank
Akbar,
you.
I'm sorry, I don't want to take you off topic, and
Mm,
maybe we can discuss this after we're done recording as well. So just let
mm.
me know. Is ego nafs?
Yes,
Okay, okay, okay.
ego is nafs. Absolutely. The same thing. All right. So, no, no, it's not interruption. Ask question, please. It is everybody has to. I want everybody to contribute like something now. Parastu said it's so helpful for all of us. عقل کودک گفت بر کتاب به تن لیک نتواند به خود آموختن. The child's intellect said, attend school, but it cannot learn by itself. This is from verse 33-22, book 4. Here the Rumi says, basically Rumi says, if you are not expanding your heart, you are like a child. I'm sure you have seen people who are in their 80s and they act like a child, not from energy and uh, and lightness, but from stupidity, like a child. So it says, uh, the child intellect said, attend a school. The child knows he should go to school, but he cannot learn by itself. He cannot teach himself. So he needs a master, a guru to tell that's the same thing for us. Here now, today, we are using Rumi as a guru. Rumi is telling us what to do, helping us to grow, helping us to mature, right? عقل رنجور آردش سوی طبیب لیک نبود در دوا عقلش مصیب. The sick man's intellect leads him to the physician, but his intellect is not successful in curing him. Basically the same, it's the verse after the previous one. This is verse 33-23. In verse 4-3322, which is this one, Rumi tells us that the child's intellect, which is a metaphor for minor intellect, said, attend school, but he cannot learn by himself. He needs a teacher. Who is our teacher? The expanded heart, or Rumi. The sick man's intellect, which is the metaphor for minor intellect, leads him to the physician, but he cannot cure himself. He needs a physician to cure him. This is the same as an expanded heart. So the expanded
So,
heart, go ahead.
no, Mr. Akbar, please go ahead. Then I'll ask my question after.
Okay. So the expanded heart is going to help you, and because we have minor intellect. Minor intellect is only good to do worldly matters. It's good for you to find a job, to make a living, to organize your life, to do whatever you need to do to survive in the world. For a spiritual path, you need somebody which has major intellect, or your heart, or your heart, expanded heart, which provides the major intellect. So that is what Rumi says. Yet that you know that you need a teacher, but your own minor intellect cannot help you. And here you will go, you know that you have to go to the physician, but he cannot cure himself with the minor intellect. The expansion of the heart and the teachings of the masters like Rumi will help us for that matter. بی نهایت حضرت است این بارگاه صدر را بگذار صدر توست راه. That is book 3, verse 1961. This divine court is the infinite plain. Leave the seat of honor behind. The way is your seat of honor. Okay, let's see what it says here. The journey to the divine is infinite. So there is an upper position. So there is no an upper position in this road. There is no an upper. There's no, sorry. There's no an upper position in this road. Honor is traveling on this journey. So when, I don't know, in Iran, when they want to respect somebody, like an old man comes to a to a gathering, and usually people sit, all they used to sit on the ground. They would send them to go to the top of the place, the sad the honorable place was the top of the place. It's not here. It's not, doesn't make sense here, but he's referring to that kind of situation, Rumi, because the place he was raised and born in Afghanistan, and when he was Turkey, they still do that. When they want to, when they wanted to respect somebody, they say, "Oh, go to the top of the place," you know. So yeah, like the front row, if you want to say it in American way, like the front row. Go sit in the front row. He says, there is no front row in here. There's no front row. There's an infinite plane for the spiritual path. And the honorable place is the path itself, is the journey. As long as you are on the path and you're journeying and you're traveling, you are in the front row. You are in the front row. You are in the best place. Don't try to sit in the front row, because there is no front row here. The front row and the best position for you is to be on the path and keep going. Repetition. Just keep doing it, keep doing it, keep doing it, keep doing it, keep doing it. You're on the front row. So now we're going to the first, is it the first? Jawmad, John, okay, this is not the first. I think it is. Let me go back, see which one is this one. Okay, that's the second verse of the Ghazal. Now let's go and look at that. جام جان 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 نشاید برد نام جان به پیش جان چه کار آید مگر از بحر قربان را When the life of the life of the life comes, it is not appropriate to pay attention to fake life. Our egoic life is less valuable than our divine and true internal life, but to sacrifice. So the fake life is only good to be sacrificed for your true life. Both of them is in us. Or you can say the minor intellect should be sacrificed for the major intellect. The minor self, the lower self, should be sacrificed for the higher self. All of us have a minor self, low self, and high self, right? The lower self and the higher self. The lower self is the ego, is the nafs, is the I, me. And the higher self is your true self, the God's spirit, which God says that I have blown into everybody, every one of us. Here Rumi indicates then when the life of the life comes and your heart is expanded, don't return to your egoic mind. It's a pity if you go back to your old habits and repeat your old patterns, which are faulty, distorted, and worn out. Furthermore, we should know that among all creatures, we are the only ones that have been chosen to become alive in the divine. They say the gate to the divine is through human beings. An animal cannot go. Animal first has to become a human, and then that's the gate. The gate of becoming alive in the divine is through human. So value yourself. تو به قیمت ورای هر دو جهانی چه کنم قدر خود نمیدانی. In price you're above two worlds, this world and the other one. What can I do? چه کنم? You don't value yourself. You don't appreciate yourself. You don't know how precious you are. You have God's spirit in you and you don't appreciate it. We have God's spirit and we waste our time in stupid and petty things. That's what Rumi says here. بودم بی عشق گمراهی در آمد عشق ناگاهی بودم کوهی شدم کاهی برای اسب سلطانی. I think I explained this for what she asked. So let's go through it again. Repetition is good. Without true love, I was lost and of course. Suddenly love came to my rescue. Before love's arrival, I was like a mountain full of ego and self-centeredness. Then I became light like straw, and ultimately my straw-like being became good for the king's horse. That's poem number 58, which we are discussing. Therefore, you can realize that without life, expansion of heart, and coming of the divine to our life and core, we will be childish and operate with the light of lightning, which is not for our guidance. Lightning is like a temporary light, like you have seen when there is storm, there is a temporary lightning. It it uh, it gives light to everything, then it dies. It's not permanent, it's temporary. We need permanent light. We need a light which is always on so we can see the path and travel through it. This temporary light is not helpful for us. در دلش خورشید چون نوری نشاند پیشش اختر را مقادیری نماند. This we already saw that. Since the divine sun caused a light to dwell in the witness's heart, the stars no longer had any value for him. These stars, which are the metaphor of attachment in our core, has no value. As long as you open the space around your heart and realize that whatever my mind shows me is like a joke, and destiny has brought the events to my life, then I realize that events are not important. What is essential is for me to expand my heart. Therefore, the events are not important. However, the expansion of my heart is important and essential for my humanity. I mentioned that before, and it's another way of saying it. The important thing is expansion of heart. Expansion of heart. That's what we are here for. Not to worry about the event. Don't let the events make you worry. They're not worthwhile. They're not worthwhile. They come and go. They will pass. What is important is the space in your heart, because that's what God brought us to this world, created us for expansion of our hearts. Am I careless and wishy-washy? No. I allow God's creativity to manage my life and make my decision. As a society, we are lost and off course. We have lost our way. Makes you, when you're connected to the source, it brings you the wisdom of the universe to your being. So you're not going to do any mistakes. Don't worry about if it doesn't mean when we say events are not going to distract you, doesn't mean that you don't take care of things. You do take care of things. I mean, they know you have a bill. I'm not saying don't pay your bill. It's an event. You receive a bill in the mail or an email telling you pay it. But it doesn't distract you. It's not your focus in life. Take care of these matters. As a matter of fact, those things are getting done better even. You try it. Try it. Add spirituality to your life, your material life gets better too. Try it. It gets better. Because when you expand your heart, you allow the universe's wisdom to come to your being, then you do much better than people who don't have that privilege, right? That's what Rumi says to us. Open your heart, expand your heart, allow the light of God to enter your heart. Your spiritual life will be richer. Your physical life and your material life will be richer and better too.
So I have a question, Mr. Akbar.
Yes.
So for example, like the word, am I careless and wishy-washy? No. So for example, if I'm someone that is trying to figure out a way to see how I want to make my life better, and I'm just taking life one day at a time, is that what it means?
Yeah, I mean, you do your best. You improve your life, what's here. But it's not your focus. This is the events do not uh, uh, do not make to sadden you. The events, if there's something bad happens in your life, which happens in everybody's life, it won't bother you because you know this is not important. The important thing is expansion of your heart. Think about it. If you don't have these negative emotions in your life due to the events, how better your life would be. If something happens, you don't get sad, you don't get mad, you don't get disappointed. Think about it. How better your life will gonna be. Yes, Pastor Khan, go ahead, please.
Okay, I'm gonna explain and add something that I have experienced. When you when you, for example, when you face challenges in your life, in outer world, um, after by some repetition, and while you see the expansion in your heart, you will see and you will understand that everything is like a mirror of yourself. So just you try to recognize what kind of things I have to identify, what kind of shortcomings in myself I have to identify, instead of just nagging and complaining about the situations and the events that is happening for you. So just you will be like an explorer that every single day when you get up, you have to find what is going, what kind of, what kind of intuition I'm going to receive from my spirit. So you will sharpen your mind, you will sharpen your ears to hear, to see, to identify, you know, to identify your shortcomings that you have that needs to be fixed.
Very good, thank you. Did you
Thank you. That's beautiful.
good job. You see, mashallah, very good. That's why I said please contribute because she did such a good job explaining. Thank you so much, Pastor Khan. Good job. All right. So yeah, expand your heart. Yeah, you're not your material life is going to be better. Try it. Try it. You know, try it. Don't take my word. Try it. تا به دیوار بلا ناید سرش نشنود پند دلان گوش کرش. That's book 5 verse 2063. Until his head comes against the wall of trouble and hardship, his deaf ear will not listen to the counsel of his heart. Our ear in our egoic mind is deaf. With our fantasy of perfection, we believe that we are perfect and we don't need any guidance. While we are reading these poems and understand them to the best of our abilities, hopefully love will come to our life and being. Gradually, we realize that our thoughts are not that serious and we should expand our hearts and become alive in the divine. So here, Rumi says, until trouble comes and hardship, you would not listen to the advice of the heart, advice of the spirit, advice of the masters. So any trouble that we see in our life is for our guidance. We shouldn't nag and we shouldn't complain. We should learn from it. Why I am having this issue? Why I'm having this trouble? Why I'm having this hardship? What I have done? You know, Parastu says this is a reflection of a mirror of yourself, of your internal being. If somebody, if you see somebody uh, as a bad person, there is something bad in you that reflects to that person. And so that's why we have to check ourselves. Look into your heart, look into yourself and say, why I am having this trouble? Why I'm just having this hardship? Maybe I'm not listening to the advice of Murumi. I'm not expanding my heart. Maybe I'm not doing the what I'm supposed to be doing. You see, that is what he's saying, Rumi here. Says if there is trouble, there is hardship in your life, and you're going, yeah, and you're hitting the wall of trouble and hardship. Look into yourself and see what you're doing wrong. What you're doing wrong. Correct yourself. Don't nag. Don't complain. Don't become sad. Don't become depressed. Just look into your heart. Look in yourself and see why this happens to me. There is a reason. God is just. Nothing happens in randomly. Everything happens for a reason to show us something, right? That's what Rumi says here. This is book 2 verse 3692. پس شما خاموش باشید انستو تا زبانتان من شوم در گفتگو. Therefore you should be mute, keep silence, that I may be your tongue in speech and talk. This is a very well-known poem. Mr. Shahbazi made it very well-known, by the way. Beautiful poem. Therefore, you should not speak and stay quiet so I may speak. That's from God's language, mouth. God says, you speak, you be quiet and stay quiet. Let me talk. Now you have to examine your life and ask yourself who I was, where I come from, what I am doing here. Why do I have so much pain in my life? Why I took myself so seriously? Why do I suffer so much and then die? Is God's plan for me really? Is it God's plan for me really? And what I'm going through? Gradually, you realize that you are metaphysical, intelligent, and not form. We are not form. We are a spirit. In reality, in truth, we are a spirit. We are spiritual beings. We are not form. All right. It's 8 o'clock, guys. Oh, let me finish this. You allowed a lot of attachment in your core, and your minor intellect is like the intellect of a child. The minor intellect is sick and cannot cure itself, and you need help. Rumi indicates that the divine is helping us every moment, but we are resisting it. Yes, this is you, right? You raised your hand, my dear. Go
Mr.
ahead.
Akbar, I want to ask you about the metaphysical intelligence.
Go ahead.
What does that mean in this context? Is it the same thing that quantum physics? There's a lot of like lectures on it. I don't know if I'm doing a good job explaining, but is it the same thing as that? Called the quantum field and the energy and all that?
Okay. The way I understand metaphysical or major intellect is the intellect of your spirit, because there is an intellect, which is the lower intellect or minor intellect, which is to manage your worldly life, your job, your marriage, your child, worldly stuff, anything and everything. And then there is another intellect, it's called major intellect, and that is to manage your spiritual life, to guide you in your spiritual path. That's what it is. That's the difference. This see, because some people, there are a lot of people, they're trying to use their minor intellect to for their spiritual path. It doesn't work. It doesn't do the job. That's what Rumi and other Sufi masters are telling us. It won't do it. You have, as you see, the more zikr, the more uh, reading of Rumi, the more meditation you do, the better and stronger your major intellect becomes. It's something that is different from this minor intellect. It's for a different purpose, as a matter of fact. It doesn't mean that you need your minor intellect basically to manage and survive. That's why God gave it to us. But then God said that's not enough. Go and develop your major intellect. Develop your major intellect so you can travel through your spiritual path. That's your guide for your internal life, if that makes sense to you. Do I make sense, ma'am? Did I explain it properly to you?
Yes, yes. Thank you so much.
Yeah,
Thank you so much.
yeah, sure. So it's 8:03, and I know some people are from East Coast, and I don't want to keep you long too long. It's not appropriate and polite. So, but if you want me to go on, I will go on. If you want to end, we can end. What do you think, Bito?
It's difficult question.
You are our mobster, as we say in Persian. You are the coordinator,
The timekeeper.
the
So
timekeeper. Thank you. Absolutely.
yeah, I think we received a lot of wisdom
Yes,
to meditate on and contemplate, organize all the tools we received. So thank you for your time and effort.
I say thank you for being here.
Thank you. Yeah. It's the rest is the practice of fighting with our ego.
Oh yeah, that's as a matter of fact, there is a saying, there is a story about Prophet Sallam, that he was coming from a war, uh, from a uh, from a war, and he told his people around him. He said, now let's go for another war." They said, "What do you mean? We just came for a war. We are all injured, and this and that." He says, "Yeah, this was a minor war. Let's go to the major war." "What's the major war?" He says, "Dealing with your nafs," the Prophet said. So that's a tough one. You're so right. That's a tough. Okay, thank you. Ilea, do you have any last word you want to share with us? Okay, how about you? What's here?
Oh my God, Mr. Akbar, I will not miss this class for anything. Blown away. So much,
Alhamdulillah.
so good. Thank you.
You're very welcome. Thank you for being here. How about you, Pastor Khanum?
Okay, just I'm gonna say that in terms of fighting or that you mentioned, I think as once we are fighting or resisting someone, resisting something, persisting something. So instead of, I mean, in my experience, once I try to turn down or turn off my egoic mind, the resistance will be increased. So the things that I'm trying and practicing these days is just accepting and surrendering instead of fighting or because it never ends. You know, these sounds play in our mind every single second without any stop. It's non-stop voices in our head. So just we have to accept it and ignore it. You know, it depends. You know, it depends on the situation when you are going to listen, but most of the time 99% of this sound is negative thoughts. So it depends how much you're going to pay attention. Just you have to live it and accept it, that it's an integral part of my being, and that actually serve me for my for my survival. It's going to help me if you just say it friendly, so, and don't fight with that part of yourself, so it won't bother us anymore. Just a little bit we can be friend with that part. Yeah.
Yeah, she's saying the same thing, by the way. You're absolutely right. Bita John, it's the same thing. Pastor Khanum, what Bita said, same thing. You're right. But you different words. Rumi has a story. It says one, two, three people, they wanted to They wanted to eat. They wanted to looking for a fruit. The one said angur. The other one said anab, and the other said in Turkish. They wanted the same thing. They said it differently. It's the same thing. Absolutely, you're right. You're not taking resisting. It is whatever it reduces the governance of nafs in your life, whatever you want to call it. Some people call it fight. Some people say it like you. That's what you said. Makes a lot of sense. But it's the same thing. It's just being aware that there is a destroyer in all of us. He wants to destroy us and everything around us. That's his mission. That's nafs mission. That's the ego mission, to destroy us and everything around. Look how we're destroying the world. Just look at it. How we're destroying the air, how we're destroying the climate, how we look at the what's happening in the people. It's just heartbreaking. Look what happened in Los Angeles past few days. It is because this ego is a destroyer. Deal with the destroyer. See it. Just seeing it is dealing with it, is fighting it as a matter of fact. Because if you see it, it won't get you. But people don't believe that. Say, "Oh, I'm the best of the best." That fantasy of perfection. I have nothing negative about me. I'm all good. That's the problem we have, right? The people who ruined this climate, they thought they're doing the right thing, but look what they did to all of everybody. Yeah, you're right. It's the same thing, absolutely. Whatever works for you to deal with the ego, do it. Just
They say that growth is on the other side of discomfort.
yes,
So this discomfort is that you're letting your ego go and you're getting into the problem and you're seeing what you can do about it.
absolutely. Yeah, you're right. So yeah, just deal with it. I mean, do whatever you think you can minimize his destroying abilities and capacity. Whatever works, it's okay. It's fine. Yeah, very good, guys. Thank you so much for your time. Inshallah, we'll see each other near future, and I thank you so much for your attendance and your attention, and may God bless you all and have a wonderful time. Take
Yes.
care.
Yeah.
Thank
Bye
you
bye.
so much for your time and effort. Thank you.
Absolutely, ma'am, dear. Thank you. Bye bye.